Hey, what's up everybody? This is Nightwing2303 from KicksOnCourt.com. Today we have the much anticipated KD5 performance review, so sit back, enjoy, and let's get right into it. As usual, we'll start off with the traction. First off, the rubber is super pliable, unlike the KD4, which was hard as rock rubber. It doesn't have that sticky kind of feeling that the KD4 had, but it is very pliable, is pretty much the only word I can explain. It's like you can move it, and it creates a lot of friction on the floor no matter what direction you're going in, and the traction was absolutely perfect. I can't believe it. It's a storytelling traction that actually works. So these things work great on a pristine floor, and I mean great as in like above and beyond expectations. As far as a dusty or debris-ridden floor, they worked very good. There were some areas where I needed to wipe a little bit, but nothing to where like what you would get with a clear sole or with the KD4s as well. Those like that smooth kind of Thunderbolt stuff just didn't work with the rubber being so hard. So yeah, I think that the traction is just absolutely perfect. Outdoors, this type of rubber might not last. Luckily, they have the XDR version, which is just an extra durable rubber, and those are on the Nike IDs. So if you have Nike ID available to you, and you do play outdoors primarily, I do suggest getting that. And yeah, other than that, the traction was phenomenal, and I'm absolutely surprised because I hate storytelling traction. So the big thing with the KD5 this year is that they implemented cushion into the heel, and in my opinion this is not the biggest deal that the KD5 went through as far as a transition from the 4 to the 5. The biggest deal is the change in the foam. The foam itself in the KD4 was horrible. It was super dense, and from what I've heard, even the cushioned option from the Nike ID KD4s weren't even that much better. So what they ended up doing is they replaced the foam with a lighter weight Phylon. It's less dense, and it's still requires a lot of break-in time, but after that this shoe just gets better every time you play in it. The first night, I'd say actually the first 2 or 3 nights, it's about mediocre. The first night everything's pretty uncomfortable from the cushion all the way up to the fit, but again, break-in time is necessary for this shoe, and it just gets better every single time you play in it. There is a 10mm zoom bag in the forefoot. It's a thin rectangle shape. It's not a full bag that you would get in something like a Kobe or a Jordan. It still works. You can't feel it at first, but like I said, once you start breaking in that foam, every single game gets better, and it's just unbelievable to where the shoe gets better with age instead of like getting worse, you know what I mean? And then the Air Max unit does provide impact protection, much like the Nike Air Hyper Aggressor, which is a shoe that did not get a very good cushion rating even though it has a similar setup. Again, the main difference is not the air unit itself, it's actually the foam. The foam is what really does it for you. And then for an additional step in comfort, they finally added a decent insole. So this insole is super fluffy. Not super fluffy, but it's a lot more fluffy than something that we've got last year. Like these, this is the KD4 insole, and this thing is crap. So the cushion needs break-in time, but it's awesome. So definitely worth your time. If you don't like break-in times, just stick with it and it'll get better over time. The materials, it's a fuse upper. It's pretty simple. It's a one-piece construction. There's just the stitch work right here, and there were only one hot spot area that I had experience, and that was actually in the left shoe. I didn't have any issues with the right shoe whatsoever, and basically this is going to be really hard to explain, so let me try to do this. But this is how the tongue is. It's sewn on starting from here, and then it's sewn around this whole area right there. The fuse actually wraps up underneath the tongue, and then there's a small slit in there so that when you put your foot in, it kind of opens up and wraps around your foot a little bit. Now right here, right where the tongue is stitched onto the fuse that's underneath it, that's where I had some hot spots, and it was only for the first few hours. Just some readjusting with the laces, and everything was fine after that. And again, after I started breaking these things in, the fit and the materials themselves got better every time. As far as durability goes with the materials, that kind of goes, you know, with each person, because visually, like there's some things where like the paint or I don't know if this is paint, but whatever the color is, got kind of scraped off and stuff like that. But as far as it staying intact, which is what the durability is for, not for the looks, but as far as the material staying intact, it did a great job. The fit is probably my favorite part of the KD5. As most of you guys know that have worn the KD4s, they were uncomfortable. The fit kind of sloped this way, so like it really pushed against your pinky and all of that kind of stuff, and it was just, in my opinion, it was one of the worst fitting shoes I've ever experienced, and especially to play in, it was just atrocious, and it was very uncomfortable. This shoe is fantastic. Again, the more you play in it, the more it gives you, and it's just like a good pair of jeans. You know, you keep wearing those jeans, you don't want to wash them, because once you wash them, it kind of ruins that fit until you start breaking them in all over again. And that's what this guy does here. These just break in more and more and more, which is awesome. The fit is super contained. I did go down half a size, by the way, and I don't regret it, honestly. I think that my toe was right at the edge, and that's how I like all my shoes to fit. If you want a little bit of extra room, go up half a size, or I wouldn't say go up half a size, I'd say get your regular size, because these run lengthwise a half a size small. But anyways, the containment is the best I've ever had. The toe is super thin. Let me show you an example actually of what I'm talking about. So this is your typical 90s sneaker. Now I know that comparing a 90s shoe to a modern day shoe is pretty unfair, to be perfectly honest, but I just want to show you, like, emphasize how slim that toe is between the two. So with this shoe here, you got a little bit of dead space from the top of your foot up to the material where it starts up here, whereas this shoe, there isn't that issue. So containment is unbelievably awesome, and these have one of the best lockdowns I've ever had. So anyways, the containment, awesome. Lockdown, awesome. I didn't even have to go up all the way, and it was still awesome. You got perfect range of motion, and this foam heel cup, even though it's pretty flimsy from the outside, once your foot was in it, just wrapped around there, it was pretty crazy. So having a TPU heel cup and all that kind of stuff actually wasn't necessary, which was pretty interesting. So the fit, half a size large. I went down half a size, and I was perfect. I got that, you know, really snug, contained fit that I'm looking for. So I think that the fit is probably the best attribute of the KD5, in my personal opinion. Ventilation is pretty self-explanatory. I went over this in the initial video review, but basically you got a little tiny vent right there, and then you have 6 more little vents here. You got 3 on top and 3 on the bottom, and that's it. The tongue's not very breathable at all. It's fairly lightweight. I mean, it does allow some air to get through it. It's not restricting airflow, you know, greatly, but it mostly sucked up moisture because my tongues were like super wet after I was done playing in them. Ventilation is going to be a low point. It's probably going to bring their overall score down a bit, but this is a shoe that I personally would play in over and over and over again if I had the option to. So most of your support's just coming from that containment and lockdown from the fit section. You know, the support is great. You do have a outrigger here which helps with rollovers or preventing them, and then what I like is the stability, which adds additional support. Stability is just basically you have a nice flat surface and everything is very, very smooth, and transition is very easy because of this slope. So upon heel strikes, everything just moves really, really smoothly, and it's got a great stride to it. Provides plenty of support as far as the fit and containment, as well as this potential rollover bumper. You can't really rely on these all the way, because if you land on someone's foot, you're going to roll your ankle anyway. What you'll notice is that there's no external shank plate. They say that there's one inside. I can't personally feel it when I put my foot in, or not my foot, but my hand in there. Like, I can't feel if it's in there, so it might be embedded within the midsole. I'm not really sure. So I'm going to kind of leave that part blank, but the overall support was great as far as their fit and containment. That is what gives you your support, not the height or cut of the shoe. So you don't need additional material and all that stuff all the way up here. As long as your foot is got that one-to-one fit with the shoe, then you got perfect support. Alright guys, so that pretty much takes care of the performance review on the KD5. If you want additional information and performance scores, go to my site, kicksoncourt.com. A quick overview. Traction was awesome, especially on a clean floor. Cushion needs break-in time. Gets better every single game. The materials are awesome and they're durable. The fit is also awesome and gets better every game. That needs some break-in time as well, but it's got the best contained fit that I've ever played in, besides maybe the Kobe 6 and the Kobe 5. Kobe 5 was a good one as well. And then the ventilation sucked, but it didn't really hinder their performance just because the containment and the materials were so sturdy that it kept everything in place, no moving or sliding around. And the support was awesome as well due to the super contained fit and perfect lockdown. So everything, you know, all together, all things said, this shoe is freaking phenomenal. This is one of my favorite shoes right now. You know, don't ask me if a shoe is better than the other. You guys already know how I feel about that. And this is a wonderful shoe. You can wear it if you're a point guard like me, a shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and even some centers with the additional cushion and that lockdown fit and support. So this is a every person shoe. You can wear this no matter what. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. You can grab these now actually over at airknight.com. I think they might have some over at sneakercrew.com. If they don't, they will soon. And that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching. Make sure to stay tuned to my site, kicksoncourt.com. And until next time, guys, have a good one.